Welcome back to Equisetum Gaming and our poor man's playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2. Picking up exactly where we left off with Dusty and John. And before we start anything today, I think we're gonna go get John a haircut.
I'm looking for my friend. Gavin. Gavin. Where the hell are you?
Morning. Out of the way.
No.
You think you're quicker on your pace than me?
Gavin?
Yeah. He doesn't know John very well.
Has anyone seen Gavin?
Alright, let's go get this beard trimmed up.
Well, please, take a seat. Only a trim or something fancy like?
Has anyone seen an Englishman
Now that isn't
called
half bad,
Gavin?
I'm okay. It's good, isn't it? Please, tell your friends about us.
Alright. Well, now,
Thanks, partner.
I think we're gonna go out and do some exploring.
Okay, boy.
I'm looking for my mate Gavin. Somebody help me.
As much as I want to go talk to Uncle and
Did you clear a path,
see
friend?
about
Howdy, mister.
going and finding Charles. Because that should be the next little thing we do with him. I really just want to go and explore. You lost? So we'll head down towards Armadillo. Well, what's around Henniganstead, actually. Maybe we'll do a legendary bison hunt. I don't know. I just know that today's episode is not going to be
There, mister.
story missions. Do a little bit of everything else. Last few days I've really wanted to write, but I am at a point in my story where I need to introduce a new conflict. And I still haven't decided what that conflict is going to look like exactly, because like I don't know, like there needs to be an argument that happens, and I'm not sure how to escalate that argument to the level that I need it to happen so that it makes sense for, you know, there to be fallout between these two characters that's gonna last for like a month. And I'm really stuck on it, and I'm not happy about being stuck.
You two okay?
Hey, I rescued both of them this time. That doesn't always happen.
You okay? I thought we were done for.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Thanks to this man. Mister, words cannot express my thanks to you.
No need. I was here in time. Get out of here. Take care of yourselves.
There we go. Take your own horse, not mine. Some Skinner Brothers. Oh, I love the Lynchfield. The Lynchfield. But that is too good for a poor man's playthrough. So it needs to stay there on the ground. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, writing is not easy. Especially when I'm so critical of the mistakes that other people make in their storytelling. Like, I definitely don't want to make the same mistakes, even if I know there are plenty of people who would forgive me for, you know, bad moments or bad, what am I trying to say? Plotting? Yeah.
Like that?
And subplotting and characterization and stuff. I mean, there's just so many examples of poorly done characters and just lazy story development.
Fine horse.
That, like, I don't want to fall into those same traps, and like, I mean, I've complained about it, you know, in my Tomb Raider series on this channel, about how there are so many incidents where, like, the writers needed something to happen, and so instead of setting it up properly to make sense, they just took the easy cliche route and, you know, either escalated things faster than they needed to escalate, or, you know, caused characters to freeze when they normally wouldn't, or make really poor decisions that don't make sense just because they needed to move the story forward. And I don't want to fall into those same traps with my own writing, and it's like, it can be difficult because trying to create conflict that doesn't seem like it just comes out of nowhere, it's not exactly easy when you have a couple of characters who, you know, have never met before and don't know anything about each other and are basically working off first impressions and assumptions that are clearly wrong, but you want both characters to be likable and you want people to be rooting for both characters, so you can't, you know, you can't completely destroy one character's reputation in order to make the conflict make sense. But it'll come. It's just, yeah, slow going. And it's one of those situations where, yeah, I'm writing and getting ahead of myself plot-wise without actually getting things down on the page.
There, boy.
And I suppose, you know, some people would suggest, oh, just, you know, type your scenario into Chat GPT or something and ask it to give you some help, but I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be using AI that has been trained on slop writing in order to give me suggestions to fix my own writing, because I feel like it's just going to spit out more cliches and tropes and things that I hate in a lot of current literature and media. So, you know, if that's what it's trained on, why would I trust it to give me what I'm looking for? Plus, I just don't want to fall into the laziness of, you know, using something else to give me plotting ideas. Because being a writer is difficult enough. You know, there's just so many people out there who write, so many authors, and so many choices and for readers to look at, and I don't feel like any writer's gonna get anywhere if they are not coming up with, I won't say something new and different necessarily, but because, I mean, there's people with favorite genres, you know, they enjoy reading certain tropes and stuff for a reason. Like, those things became tropes for a reason and cliches for a reason. It's because they are common in storytelling and people enjoy them. But if you want to set yourself apart and give people something that they want to read but will choose over, you know, all the other options out there, you have to give them something that is enough of a new take and enough of a fresh version of those tropes and cliches and all of that, like the things that they enjoy, that they're actually going to bother looking at your writing over somebody else's. And that's the challenge, you know? And I feel like Hollywood has fallen into this trap, like, where they're just repeating IP stuff and making sequels and all of that because they don't have good writers anymore, and they're trying to build on existing IPs in order to appeal to a pre-existing audience, and they don't know how to capture that existing audience with something that is new and original anymore. And it's sad, you know? I think pretty much all of us are getting tired of remakes and sequels that aren't respectful of the factors that brought people to a franchise or a series to begin with. And it just kind of sucks. You're wondering where this little camp is. There. So over by Hanging Rock. West. They came down through X Basin.
Hey,
All right. And it doesn't, like, my story crafting block, it doesn't help that I got so frustrated and discouraged with trying to write, with always being interrupted whenever I tried to set aside time to write, that, you know, I just gave up trying. And so I'm out of practice. And everything I put out just reads like slop. It is not good, structure-wise whatsoever. And it's... I don't know. It sucks. It's discouraging, but I know I can fix it in edits. But it's gonna take a while to, actually... You wanna die too?
what a mess. Nasty business.
Alright, let's see what we can loot off the Lobos. And maybe take one of their horses if they have a Morgan that I like. Or a Kentucky Saddler. No, I didn't say get back on the ladder, John. I said walk around the corner. Let's go up and get these two guys on the roof. The other one... Looks like they have a Palomino organ. Oops, somebody has another one. Or is that the... No, that's not a Morgan, that's a Tennessee Walker. Can I loot this body without getting kicked? Yeah? Good. Already looted you. Sad thing is, I know that, you know, my storytelling is not going to be the sorts of stories that my audience here will want to read. But I'm not gonna change, like, what I write and the characters I develop. To suit you guys. I'm sorry. I am very fond of the characters I create. And, it's the whole reason why I create them versus create characters for a more like the type of audience that would want to watch videos of gameplay of games like this. It's not the type of audience that would typically want to read the sorts of stories that I write. Unfortunately. It's... mainly because I don't have... It's just regular cigarettes, not worth throwing out what I have in order to get that. But like, I don't do like straight male protagonists. And it's mainly because I am so sick of how like the diversity and inclusion crowd has basically butchered and made stereotypes of characters.
Ready, boy?
That, you know, we used to have books and other media that had well-written gay characters, but not anymore. And like, I want to be able to create characters who have some substance behind them, but not have their whole lives dictated by who they want to take to bed. Plus, I just don't like heteronormative romance stories. I don't like lesbian romance stories either very much, but it's more the fact that I just, if a protagonist does not have a partner at the beginning of the story, then I don't want the whole freaking story to be driven by romance.
Slow now.
And that's just, you know, I am not big on romance as a genre to begin with. I remember, like, I had to read Jane Austen in college for a class. I read Pride and Prejudice, and I felt like I spent the entire book waiting for the actual plot line to start. And, I mean, it was sad because she's, like, her writing was, like, I was impressed by her writing style and the fact that it didn't feel like old or outdated and stuffy when I read it, despite, you know, being part of classic literature. That had existed long before modern writing techniques and all of that came to be, but yeah, it felt like the story never went anywhere. It was like,
Nice, ain't it?
I don't know. Like, I like character-driven stories, but at the same time,
Good boy.
like, the outside world needs to have influence. Like, nobody exists in a vacuum where, like, all of their decisions and all of, like, the people's decisions around them are the only two factors. Like, there is no world where it's just
Hey, boy.
the protagonist and the antagonist deciding what happens. And they're just, I don't know, like the whole socialite aspect of it was just so boring to me. But like I said, her writing in and of itself was good. It was enjoyable. I just wish there was more meat to the plotline. But I feel like a lot of romance just falls into that same path of there's no like there's nothing other than your protagonist and the love interest or whatever. But I do like, you know, what's going on? Yeah.
Mister, I can't even. You have saved my life. I can't thank you enough. Whatever is in that box is yours. I'll explain the loss. As far as I'm concerned, you earned it.
Okay. There's never anything worth taking out of the
You
box.
say that?
It's already open. There we go. We can take the veggies. It's weird, but I feel like, I don't know, when you have male characters, males are more driven. Like, they don't come across as whiny when they complain. They don't come across as overly bossy when they take charge of a situation. They don't, I don't know. Like I said, they have more initiative. And they don't come across as cold if they don't give a shit about, you know, somebody's emotions or whatever. You are glowing, buddy. You have a lantern on your horse? It's just weird. I guess it's just that there have been so many poorly written female characters lately that I have no desire to write or get involved with female characters, and that's sort of why they don't become a big part of my own storytelling. I mean, I do have female characters, but not to the extent that they would become like a protagonist or a love interest or a sidekick, whatever you want to call them. I'm sick of female characters, I guess. Which I guess sort of makes it surprising that I've played, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. Although Aloy was better written in the first game than the second game. And then I also, you know, am currently playing the Tomb Raider series with Lara Croft. But I mean, if you watch me play those games on this channel, I'm always cussing out Laura. I am always cussing out Aloy in the second game. And it's very much because I get annoyed with them. And sometimes it's the gameplay mechanics and some of the bugs and stuff, but you know, I'm always, you know, telling them they're useless or they're being stupid or that they need to shut up, and I never end up saying that to like John or Arthur when I'm playing the Red Dead games. Like, I don't get frustrated with them and their commentary or their, you know, dialogue choices or anything like that the way I do with Aloy or Lara Croft. And like, I feel like it is... Hey, dinosaur bone. I feel like it is mainly because John and Arthur are well written.
Let's go, boy.
And Aloy and the version of Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider games that I'm playing, they both became victims of this newer storytelling that just doesn't know how to write a female character that actually doesn't come off as annoying at some point. I was gonna say, did the Mercury just fall off the cliff? Seemed like it. Can I get off this cliff without killing my horse? No. I don't feel like going into Tumbleweed. You're wondering where that dinosaur bone was. It's right up there on this little thing north of Tumbleweed. Just sort of out here looking for more horses, and we haven't come across any. At least not John's caliber of horses for the poor man's playthrough. Pretty little sunset. No, sunrise. Sorry. But yeah, I want to be able to write male characters that act like men. I want to be able to write storylines that are driven by more than character choices. Here's a herd. It's a Kentucky Saddlers. And one paint. I could pick up the pinto. What say you? Shall we tame a pinto? We are allowed to have a Kentucky Saddler. It's one of the few horses that we can.
Look at you. Over here.
Will you let me tame you?
Now we can become better acquainted.
Hey, it's another male. Nice.
Hey, relax. There.
There we go.
See? I ain't so bad. Remember, this ain't no big deal. Oh, damn! Whoa! Hey, now!
There we are.
We're friends.
I don't think I've ever tamed one of these for the channel before. Not even just to take it and sell it.
Boy.
He's huge next to Dusty.
How about that?
Alright. Well, let's take me to Tumbleweed.
Come on. Here now.
And we will get him saddled up. We'll put Dusty away. Now this boy is our main horse for a little while. I think I'm gonna change the tail though. I don't like the red and white tail on these guys. I think it needs to either be solid red or solid white. Probably the solid white. I don't think there's a good red match in the grooming selection. But yeah, I realize it's probably kind of weird to, you know, decide that all of my male protagonists are going to be gay in order to eliminate having female main characters, but it just...
Howdy. Can I help you with your horse? I got space for you if you need stabling.
It just seems like the easiest way to justify it.
I can't give you the full price if you've lost the papers. Good choice.
Yep. We'll name him Splash. Yeah.
I'm convinced horses love that.
There's no red that actually matches the red of the horse. So we'll go with a white tail. And just leave it at that. I don't think there's any... No, because we don't do celery.
Goodbye now.
Alright.
Bring that horse back anytime.
Then we'll get out of town because I want to fast travel to Emerald Ranch. Because we have a bunch of stuff to sell. So, yeah, John will have some more money. But there we go. A little bit. I really don't like Seamus with the mustache.
You're new.
Alright. Ultimate necklace. Gold nugget. Platinum pocket watch. Platinum band. Silver pocket watch. I think that's all we have to sell because the rest of the stuff
seen you
I
before.
am
Who told you about me?
keeping for trinkets. Yeah. Okay.
New to these parts, mister? Well, I don't answer questions on what I sell. Take it or leave it.
Alright, there we are. I really think this horse is too flashy for an outlaw, but John's trying to not be an outlaw, so makes sense from that perspective. And we will be getting one more horse eventually to replace Rachel. But I think we are pretty good with what we have. So we have Benengo, we have Dusty, we now have Splash, and our last horse will probably be a liver chestnut. Morgan when we come across one that we like. Okay. Could do some more hunting. Trying to think what else we need. Got the king gator. I think we've gotten all of the legendary animals over on this side of the map. No, I didn't want to place a marker. Get rid of that marker. Yeah, looks like we got all of those. Alright. Head back to Nature's Hope. And there we are. Anything hanging out on the ranch to shoot? Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm making myself a bit dizzy. Not sure why it's giving me that little warning up in the corner when I already shot the gun and killed the deer. It's one thing I don't understand is why,
Keep it together, boy.
you know, you can't shoot from the ranch. It's like it's John's ranch. If he wants to pull out his guns and defend the place or shoot varmints that are digging up his vegetable garden when it gets planted, or, you know, trying to eat his chickens or his sheep,
Okay, boy.
then we should be able to pull out the damn gun. A 3-star elk? Sure.
Not now, boy.
Okay. Well, got John some more venison to cook up now, so I'll do that off camera.
Boy,
And if you've enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Sorry for so much chit-chat about writing and what I don't like about romance stories and all of that. But I hope you do consider subscribing and checking out some of my other series on this channel. Bye for now.